Hello, my name is Faye. I live in Vancouver, BC, Canada, although I'm originally from England, UK. For work, I am a makeup and hair artist and also a makeup and hair educator. I'm the founder of Faye Smith Agency, which is a makeup and hair artist agency located in Vancouver, but we contract over 200 artists across Canada, mostly in Vancouver and the Lower Mainland and Toronto. And for fun, I like to go kayaking, hiking, anything that beautiful BC offers us for being one with nature and getting away from the busy city. So I became a makeup and hair artist. Honestly, I kind of feel like my career chose me. I finished high school and the extended high school to be able to go to university, and I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I liked arts, and I knew I liked customer facing jobs, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I literally just went through the college courses and just like picked one to test out. So I took photography and makeup part-time while I worked at a restaurant serving, which I'd been, doing that job since I was like 15. And then my makeup teacher hired me to work on opera sets with her. So I got to kind of experience what a cool career makeup and hair artistry could be. And I got the idea of making monsters to be in the movie industry, which is what brought me to Canada in the first place back in 2009, I believe it is now, long time ago. So I enrolled in makeup school at Blanche Macdonald, which was an 11-month program, learning absolutely everything there is to do with makeup. I made the most out of all of the volunteer opportunities that the school offered. So I tested out every single area of the industry, and it ended up being that I really love doing, weddings, special events, photo shoots. I like that my job is different every day. Sometimes I'm up at 2 a.m., sometimes I get to sleep in a little bit, sometimes my day is long, short, and every day's task is different and every face I work on is different. My career just kind of evolved naturally through finding what I love. Ever job was actually well, first ever paying job. I did a lot of jobs that were like practically not paying anything, but my first ever paying job was actually, I found it for myself. I was on a pub crawl, and someone on that pub crawl was getting married, and so I gave her my business card on the night out on the pub crawl, and she actually called me and booked me to do 7 people for her wedding, herself included, for both hair and makeup. And that's just like way too much work for one person who at the time I was a student to complete by themselves. So just kind of like using a little bit of a savvy business mind, not wanting to like lose the job, I decided to hire my classmates at makeup school to do this job with me. And I decided I would take a small commission off of it to pay for me, organizing the booking and all that lovely stuff, which takes extra work. So that was like job number 1, and how my company, Faye Smith Agency, began. And it honestly just kind of naturally evolved. I was always very good at obtaining work for myself, attracting work. Like, I don't like to sit still for more than 2 seconds. So I was always on the internet looking for more and more opportunities, or out networking looking for opportunities. And so getting work was always quite easy for me, to the point where I would say, about a year into my career, I just had so much work, it was too much for me to do myself. So rather than turning away the work or sending customers off to like go on another makeup hunt, I figured I would just hire more people. So I reached out to Blanche Macdonald to try to connect with more students and recent postgrads that were kind of on the same level of experience as me, and I started to build a team, which today we represent over 200 artists across Canada. So it's substantially grown. We now have an academy where we teach makeup and hair lessons online and in person. Have a salon in Gastown now. Like, everything just kind of naturally evolved with the natural growth of the business. One of the hardest challenges that I've faced in my career is the fact that I'm a trained makeup and hair artist, and I'm not a trained business person. I didn't train in accounting, marketing, financing. I have financed my business from my own pocket from day one. I've never taken out a loan. I've never not paid a credit card bill. It was quite far into my career, probably about a good 8 years into my career, where it got to the point where I was working like 16-hour days, 32 days in a row, 1 day off. And I was just completely at a burnout point. So at that point, my burnout point was when I decided to let go some of the control and start hiring other people. So I ended up, hiring people in my community. I hired one of my girlfriends who is an ex-makeup and hair artist, and she was the first person I hired to help me with coordination, which today we have 3 employees, 2 full-time and 1 part-time, that deals with all of the coordination of the bookings for us. So I actually don't handle that part of the company anymore. Of course, I hired an accountant because that's not my profession, and I don't enjoy the numbers. I don't enjoy learning about the legal systems and all that stuff. So I just got to a point where I was so busy that I was okay with letting go of some of the control where it wasn't my area of expertise. The biggest challenge that I really did face was 2020 when COVID came around. I've always used my instincts and my initiative to just like take myself into the direction that I feel is correct. And I've never really, sat down and actually like studied or done a spreadsheet or made plans or anything like that. So in 2020, when we were told non-essential services had to close down, my salon couldn't be open, no big bookings could happen, so all of our weddings were cancelled, which is like the majority of our business, and I have all these employees and a salon and all these expenses to have to pay for. I had to kind of think quickly about how the hell I could keep the business going, keep the business relevant in the world, so that when the pandemic was over, which of course at the time everybody thought it was going to be a few weeks or a few months, my business would still be able to be successful. So that was an extremely big challenge. I worked so hard during COVID at home. I had my employees on the video chats every day coming up with, I had to delegate tasks because, we weren't set up to work from home. I had to delegate tasks for everyone to make sure that their job was still pointful. I was spending out of pocket because at the time the government money, hadn't come in, the government help hadn't come in. I was just going with faith that, I'd saved this money that I thought I was going to use for a down deposit on a house one day, but no, I was going to use it to keep my business alive, keep my employees employed, and keep my company something that was relevant in the future, and that we would be successful in the long term still. So we did lots of product deliveries. People couldn't get their makeup, their eyelashes done anymore. So we were selling lash growth serum. People were coming to our homes, picking them up. We were driving them to drop them off. That honestly helped to, pay for some of the costs of running the business. We were coming up with ideas of like virtual lessons that we could do. People were very supportive, like our fellow industry folk, like wedding planners and whatnot, and loyal customers were signing up to these classes that they probably didn't really need to learn how to do the perfect messy burn or whatever. So yeah, that was the biggest challenge, and that challenge has continued because obviously now we are facing a post-pandemic, a post-COVID recession where everything's more expensive than it was before, and no one has any money. So now I'm finally at a point in my career where I'm kind of forced to start to get myself educated and come up with smarter plans, and treat this more like a business than a hobby. I'm going to achieve my goals just because I always do. I'm just like, I will not stop until I achieve my goal. It's just a determination thing. I've always been a hard worker. I don't like to be bored. I've been hired for jobs where, you're essentially hired to just stand in the drugstore and hope someone might want you to put lipstick on them. And I would rather, go through and clean all the shelves and line everything up and make everything pretty to make my day go by faster and be more enjoyable than just looking at the clock. So I'm determined. I will, if I have a plan I want to pursue, I will always at least try. In 2021, I think it was, I got a grant to start an online school, and I've marketed it enough to like cover the cost, and it's fizzled off a little bit right now, but I'm gonna get back at it, and we're gonna make more courses, and we're gonna sell courses. I just know I will succeed, and I know I will meet my goals. Stereotype about being a makeup and hair artist is that you're perhaps a bit of a bimbo, and all appearance and no brains, which is absolutely not true. I mean, obviously there's a variety of characters in this industry, but makeup and hair artists, a lot of us are really smart individuals, pursuing, a career that they love. I'm really excited about my next idea for business, and it is absolutely going to be innovative and inspiring to other artists. I know right now with the company, the bricks and mortar company that I have created, that I'm able to provide artists with a lot of work, a lot of guidance, a lot of hope that they will have a fruitful career. I now am looking into my own future as a mother of a 19-month-old toddler. I am looking into my future as a 35-year-old, thinking about my retirement, because I'm crazy like that. And I'm thinking about the future of the world and just kind of noticing that everything seems to be turning online. All of the grants that are out there at the moment, it's all about technical development. So I'm seeing that the future is going to be online. So I want to create what I don't believe has ever been created, which is an online e-commerce ecosystem and community for makeup and hair artists. So take my entire business that I've created already and turn it into an online platform where the artists, rather than being contractors of the company working for my company under my company name, will pay a membership to be a part of the Faye Smith Agency community. Advertising their own business to customers, receiving inquiries from customers directly, being given the ability to be a part of a supportive makeup and hair artist community where we can, get together on this one platform, the Faye Smith Agency website, to support one another, whether it be venting about a tough work day or a styling challenge, a difficult customer, not knowing how to do your accounting. We can all kind of come together and really support one another as women in business. And that's the thing, our industry mostly is women in business, which I love. I love women supporting women. And I love that we're all here for each other. It doesn't need to be a competitive career. If we work together, we will all have a beautiful career. And we do need to work together. As I saw from day one, when I had that booking for 7 people, I needed people to work with me because I simply cannot do it alone. So I'm really excited to build the community. I'm really excited to expand the community worldwide, share everything that I have learned over the last 16 years as a makeup and hair artist, as an agency owner, as an educator, as a salon owner. And I'm excited to take it and help others propel their own careers and their own reputation in the world. Because as much as I love doing makeup and hair, I know I don't want to be doing it forever. It's very physically taxing and exhausting. So yeah, I'm excited to use technology to gather everything that I have created over the last 16 years and build something for all of us. I love this question. Where do I see beauty in this story? Well, obviously, I see it in the physical sense that I work in a beauty industry doing makeup and hair, making people look and feel beautiful. But I also see beauty in the community that I was just speaking about, going over the last question. I like to approach my career as women supporting women, artists supporting artists, all of us trying to pursue our passions, all of us trying to make, a nice, fruitful career for ourselves, doing something that we love. And that is beautiful. So grit definitely manifests itself in my life story. I mean, my entire career, has been complete and utter grit and determination, not giving up. I suppose the fact that, my parents did help me with the cost of enrolling in makeup school. And so because of that, I had pure grit and determination to make sure that being a makeup artist was what I would become, because they had put that investment in me, so I was going to at least, become what I said I was going to become, and also be able to offer them that money back, which I don't know if I ever have offered them that money back. I probably should. Maybe I'll get there one day. And also the fact that I've always used my own money to propel my company forward. So it's always been my own personal belief in myself, my own personal risks, my own fight. When COVID faced us, at the time I was sharing a salon with a friend who has a lash company, and there was never anything in me that ever thought about giving up. It was like, okay, well, we need to come up with $10,000 a month. Okay, I have savings. I have life savings. I'll just spend that. It literally is pure grit and determination, and it still is today. Today, with me coming up with the idea to completely remodel my business, is the pure grit and determination that I want a nice home to raise my daughter in, and for my dog to run around in a garden, and I want to have like a less stressful life in the future, and I don't want to give up on what I've built, but and I don't want to sell it either. I want to still be a part of the community, but in a completely different way. In talking about sustainability, I would like to say that I use sustainable products and all that lovely stuff, but I don't. I use products in my kit that I think are the best. I do try not to throw things away, though. I try to purchase smaller quantities, or like kit share. Kit sharing is a thing where, you know, a couple of artists will get together and buy 10 foundations and split it between 2 or 3 of them. So not wasting product is very important to me. Of course, because everything costs so much money to purchase, but also because I don't want things to just be thrown into the landfill. So that type of sustainability, I feel like, is important in our industry. I hate the fact that like, I don't want to be someone who is an overconsumer. I don't want to buy tons of stuff and throw out tons of stuff. I don't want things to expire in my kit and just get wasted. So yeah, I will always do my best to kit share, encourage kit sharing amongst my community, to not waste, you know, you can even, like, if a foundation is not quite the right shade, you can mix it with another one to make the right shade rather than buying a new one. So yeah, I would say that that's pretty important in terms of sustainability as a makeup and hair artist. I don't own my own home, but my husband and I hope to own our own home very soon. And to finish things up, my name is Faye Smith, and thank you so much for listening to me.